And these zombie supporters of Bianco coming after me.
Yeah.
Like, you're coming again. You should be fucking thanking me.
Yeah.
But you're coming after me. And I think to myself, imagine if George Washington took a knee to the British.
Oh, I know.
And
We wouldn't be here right now.
So you people who claim that you're fighting for your freedom every day, you're fighting tyranny in the state all the time, you're okay to do those things, all while supporting and trying to get elected a guy that took a knee to the enemy that you're fighting. You say you're fighting. Think about how fucking stupid you are. If you're going to support someone like that, you might as well surrender now.
Yeah.
Good to be back again.
Always good to be back here in Basilicos.
Yeah, what a week, man.
A lot going on this week.
A lot going on.
We got a lot to talk about.
Maybe we should start with the glass of wine. You know, we let the guys out early tonight, so we're probably not going to have any. We're probably not going to eat food tonight. We have too many things to talk about anyway, so we don't have time. But, and I also love the fact that when we got here, Thomas, the guy who helps us produce and direct the show, our guy sitting over there, he was already 2 beers in and waiting for us.
So we got to catch up.
2 beers in, and they were making him a old fashioned. And I walked in, I said, "Who's that for?" He said, "Me." So, but he first filmed it, which was cool. So we'll actually show it. But.
Yeah.
Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, my lover stands on golden sands and watches the ships that go sailing. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. It's far beyond the star, it's near beyond the moon.
Show it, but
yeah, that's
he drank that down. And I said, "Man, you sure you're going to be able to handle tonight?" He said, "Man, I got it."
He's got it covered.
And it's funny because whenever he drinks, I can tell in 2 seconds because he goes from being this kind of quiet guy, you know, that only talks when he needs to just being a happy, jolly, outgoing,
very nice
kind of guy, you know.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
proud of you over there, hanging in there, man. Anyway, so yeah, let's start with a glass of wine.
Okay.
There's a bottle there they left for us. I think that's the Annabella.
It is the Annabella.
Yeah, that's
it's beautiful.
That's a Napa Cabernet Sauvignon wine. It's one of the favorites here actually, and has notes of cranberry, espresso, and fig. So it's a nice wine. Yeah, it's a little bit for me.
You like drinking your wine out of a different kind of a
bucket glass. Yeah, like a regular table glass. Like I explained last time, this is how we drank
kind of did at home.
And my family.
Back in the day when you're growing up.
We don't use. I didn't know what a wine glass was until I was a lot older.
That's just how it worked back in the day.
But it looks good on you.
Yeah, I love it. The wine here people have a chance. The wine here is so good. There's so many different varieties.
Yeah, all boutique wines that you can't really find in stores.
All right.
Salute.
Salute.
Yeah. Anyway, so busy.
That's good.
Thanks. Busy week and interesting week. We had the Michael Gates event. Was it yesterday?
It was
yesterday.
Yeah. The 15th. Yeah.
It was yesterday on Wednesday.
So
and then
so people need to know he announced he's running for Attorney General of the state of California.
Yeah. So we'll get to him in a second. But
right.
And then we also had the Sonia event. So our good friend Sonia is an organizer. She runs like a political PAC.
Yeah, it's called. I think it's the Patriots for Freedom.
Yeah,
PFF
Club
is what she does.
Yep. And she's amazing. And she had a a forum for the candidates for California governor. So it wasn't really a debate, but it was sort of like a debate where the 5 candidates got on stage, including Steve Hilton and Sheriff Chad Bianco.
Yeah.
And she asked me, we'll get to that in a minute too, but she asked me to be a panelist, like a moderator, somebody to ask questions. Yeah. But she made me promise not to be combative and promise not to get into arguments and fight with anybody because she knows how I am. But and I made that promise to her. Yeah. It's not about me debating the candidates. It's more about us asking questions, let them answer. Yeah. She didn't even want them really debating each other as a forum, like a town hall sort of. Yeah. So, but it got heated.
Well, it did. But people need to know too. She put on a first-class event.
So it was held. Yeah, it was held at the Garden Grove Calvary Chapel Church. Yeah.
Big venue. There were about 500 people there.
Yeah. And they were amazing because they donated the church to her. They allowed her. I mean, and they had event organizers, logistics people. I mean, it was done
very, very
so well.
Professionally.
Before they introduced us, they had us like what they call like a green room where we were in there kind of preparing our questions and getting ready to come out when they introduced us. Yeah. And this is the way she handled herself on stage. I mean, that audience was fired up, and she kept it on time too.
I was outside checking people in.
You were
at the door, but I have to say I did hear a big round of applause, and I think people were standing up, clapping when you got announced.
Oh man, I was
to be part of the event.
Yeah, I walk out and I see Thomas with his camera. I think I looked right in the camera. I was like, "What are you doing here?" And he goes, or it's good to see. I forget what I said to him. He said, "Tony, keep walking to your chair. Keep walking to your seat." It was kind of funny, but
the owner of the only restaurant that truly did not shut down in the state of California. And what is that restaurant called? The Silico Pasta Vino of California. He pledged it as a constitutional battleground, and I tell you, he's still fighting. Okay? Now, an aggressive and upcoming defiance on day 1 of the lockdowns in March 2020, in defense of liberty and freedom and in honor of our founding fathers and our military heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice, is why he has stood up and fought against tyranny. Okay? And he was waged war against Gavin Newsom. He has waged war against Gavin Newsom. He has also recently filed a federal constitution lawsuit against Newsom. Do I hear applause? After the state seized his business assets. Say what? Say what? I'm going to tell you one thing. Almost sounds like Venezuela. All right. Years after his defiance, in an attempt to punish, check out this podcast, Roman Rules at RomanRules.com. And I'm going to welcome here to the stage, welcome Tony Roman.
What are you doing here?
Give him a standing ovation. Let's give it up for Tony Roman one more time. The only man in the state of California. You walk in there with a mask, they'll tell you to take it off. You walk in there with some nonsense, they'll tell you to get out. They tell him to close down, he says, I'm staying open. This is the man, Tony Roman. All right now, you guys ready?
And I just looked around and saw people that I knew. And I heard a rumor that you were giving all the VIP passes to people that you and I know.
Of course.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Why would I do it any other way?
Hilarious. I kept asking people, "Where's Doug? Where's Doug?" And they're like, "He's in front. He's making sure that that the right people come in and the wrong people stay out."
And I'm glad I was doing that because there's a couple other people there, and we had these 2 different lists, and they weren't really that accurate and everything. So I kind of took charge and said, "Look, these people, they just sign here, they're in." Yeah. And then we had some VIPs, so I was able to find out who the VIPs were, other than the ones I was letting it, but others. Make sure that they got the right information.
And then after the event, they had people take a straw poll of who they support. And we'll get to those results at the end. because we know what they are. But at the same time, though, it's kind of skewed because Hilton and Bianco, especially Sheriff Bianco,
a lot of their own.
They brought a lot of their own campaign volunteers and supporters. With their mind was they were made up already.
Yeah.
So it's a little unfair. You know what I mean?
There were several people
it's not an honest poll.
When I was checking them in, I gave them the straw poll card.
They were already filling it out.
And they were just checking them off and filling them. I go, well, you're supposed to wait until you hear what everybody says and then make a decision. But a lot of, the Bianco people especially, they were just, they
were all in, like
so.
rabid. But before we get to those things, I want to give you a case update. I got another case update today on our constitutional federal lawsuit against Gavin Pelosi and the state. So there right now, his attorneys, he's getting represented. He's represented by, and I repeat things in these shows because not everybody sees every show, right?
Yeah.
So I want to catch people up and bring them up to speed. But he's represented by the attorneys from the California Department of Justice. They have unlimited budget. And they're banking right now on a procedural defense to get it thrown out in February. I think February 5th, based on the defense they want to use is trying to use the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
And they're doing that by saying you don't get to proceed and get to these to the issues of importance. Like the constitutional, like their violation of constitutional rights, until you get past the procedural one, which is the issue that they're arguing now that our time had run out to file a lawsuit. Yeah. But the thing is that our argument is, which is ridiculous. Why should it end on that?
Yeah.
But so we'll see what happens. But our side is arguing that the statute of limitations didn't run out because they have continued, every time they continue to try to seize assets or they do seize any amount of money, the clock should start again.
Yeah, it starts over.
Right. So, but the fact they're trying to say that I knew that they had a judgment against me and everything else is a bold lie.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't matter anyway. But
I just remember back when this thing was all coming around, these guys from all these different organizations. So you had the ABC, you had OSHA,
Orange County Health.
They're all throwing out stuff about we're gonna find you this, that, all these amounts.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah,
Who knew if they were really serious about it?
Yeah, we didn't know anything.
You have no idea.
We didn't know anything. And we had heard rumors of this and rumors of that, and threats of this and threats of that. And
more threats from their side too. They're really more, talk about the Gestapo, they were the ones.
Yeah, so February 5th, like people have told me, like attorneys have told me, if we can get past this initial stage and overcome their opposition and their attempt to have it thrown out, it's clear sailing. It's basically game on after that.
Yeah.
It's sort of like the analogy that I use, if you ever seen the movie Castaway, when Tom Hanks is building that first raft and he knows that his objective is to get past that first set of waves.
Yeah.
But it keeps crashing into him and keeps sending him back to shore. I think about that because that's how it feels. Like if we can get past that, then it's open ocean after that. It's open sea.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's where we're at there.
All right.
As far as this week, so yesterday Michael Gates had his event. Michael Gates was a former city attorney of Huntington Beach. He then got recruited to be an assistant attorney general at the Department of Justice, the U.S. Department of Justice under Trump.
Right.
He worked for about 10 months.
Yeah, he was in the Civil Rights Division, which is where I've heard a lot of the action is.
Yeah, it's where you fight for things like voter ID and stuff like that. So, and then he decided he wanted to come back and serve his state. He loves his hometown, Huntington Beach. Anyway, so he came back and he told me he had something he was going to announce. He kind of told me in confidence. He told you too when we were here, when he was here. But then he officially announced it yesterday.
I kept it quiet too. I didn't really tell
you
anybody.
Were good. we both did. But he said that he announced yesterday that he is running for California Attorney General.
Yeah.
Now, I told him, I said, I'm the first person who ever told you to run for California. So he did an event years ago at somebody's house, a donor's house.
Yeah.
And they gave me a microphone, and I took it, and I said, Michael's time soon is going to bigger and better things. He needs to be Attorney General.
Yeah.
California Attorney General, and then U.S. Attorney General.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. But he's going against Rob Bonta. You know a little bit more about him.
Yeah, Bonta's the incumbent Democrat. I mean, you know, all the stuff that Newsom wants to push through, he's pushing. You know, he just rubber stamps and push through. I think they're supposed to be somewhat independent, but that you can't count on that. But I think the big problem he has that I've been hearing about it, he's up to his eyeballs in a corruption scandal out of Oakland. I think there was the people that run the waste management or waste hauling services up there were bribing people left and right. The mayor of Oakland got taken out. She got recalled first, but then she's getting charged being part of this conspiracy. And he and I believe his wife are just deep in it. Yeah. So who knows if he's even going to be around?
Well, he's tied to Newsom at the hip.
Oh, for sure.
And he's waging a war of tyranny everywhere he freaking goes. This guy Bonta, you got the tiny tyrant Gavin Newsom, and the tiny tyrant in training, which is Bonta. So
the big issue that pushing, especially on Huntington, is the whole housing. The high density housing, which my understanding is Huntington is 80% built out already. We don't have any room for any more housing, and they have a plan. Why are they screwing the plan? But Bonta is, he's just going after him, and he takes these victory laps every time they have a good day in court up there too, which is just disgusting.
Well, he's having some real visible fights with Bonta too already, so he's got a history of already battling him.
Yeah.
But I think it's funny because Bonta, the path to election he initially saw was Bonta was going to run for governor, leaving an open field to run. There wouldn't be an incumbent to run against for attorney general. And the morning he was supposed to announce, it was the day before. The morning of the day before he was going to announce, the news breaks that Bonta is going to stay in the race for attorney general. He pulled out of the race to run for governor, probably because he saw the writing on the wall. He couldn't win because
the corruption scandal was keeping him out of the governor's office. Yeah. And I think he feels that the AG's position is just his for the taking.
Yeah. So then
we'll see.
No, you're right. So then Michael Gates was maybe he wasn't sure what he was going to do. He said, "I'm going to talk to my consultants. I don't know who they really are, but." And then I told him, I said, maybe it's God's way of telling you should run for governor, which is what I've been telling you for a while now, the last year. And he was thinking about it, and then he said, well, you know what, Tony, I got to be honest with myself. I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
I'm not comfortable with that yet. This is the first step. So I said, okay, whatever you decide, I back you 100%. And then he decided late that day that it was game on. He was going to do it. Yeah. So yesterday he asked us. So he asked me to volunteer. Because of the private security and intel business I have, he asked me if I could provide him with security for that day. Yeah. Private security, executive security protection for him. And I said, sure. I'll do it, and I'll volunteer it. Like, you won't have to pass anything. Because I know he's just now starting to raise money for his campaign. So I had my guys who also believe in fighting for the things that we believe in. They volunteered to join me that day.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
I'll show a picture, of the team. We only had, it was me and 3 other guys. So, and it was funny when we got there, it was a big space.
Yeah, it's open.
It was venue. By the pavilion, actually by the amphitheater, above the amphitheater.
Yeah, which is, for people who don't know Huntington, it's right next to the pier. Yeah. Which is right in this, the pier goes off Main Street as the center of town in Huntington.
But we had no idea it was going to be that big, that big of a space. Like, it was huge. Yeah. And
plus the weather was really nice.
It was really nice. I got a lot of sun, but it was beating down on us. But we had to basically put up gates and gates to protect gates. We had to set up these basically barriers and kick everybody out of the area. Where people were just hanging out, laying in the sun. There were drunks. There were homeless people. We had to basically move people out until the event was over to keep it safe. And people kept telling us, "You need more guys. You need more guys." I'm like, "No. You ever seen the movie 300? We can handle it."
Yeah.
So the four of us pulled it off and kept him safe and kept everybody safe, and it went really well. I didn't get a chance to really pay attention to every word of his speech because I was so busy talking to people and kind of keeping an eye on things, on my guys. But I think that I'm going to have a talk with him about his speech. I think he should have gone harder. I think there were some things he needed to say. He needed to put a target on Newsom a little bit more, a lot more. I don't think he did enough of that. He didn't talk really about liberty and freedom and how, as Attorney General, he can protect our rights in that way. I felt like the slogans he had on the signs, which were things like safe communities, safe families, or I forget exactly what it was, but I felt like those weren't hardcore enough. They weren't hard-hitting enough. I was underwhelmed by that. I felt like when he broke out into speaking Spanish, I didn't like that. I thought that's pandering. Again, I'm going to meet with him and tell him all the same things when I see him. And I think also the fact that he's tying himself in this election to Steve Hilton, and calling it the golden ticket between him and then Steve Hilton, and then Steve Hilton's running mate for lieutenant governor. We'll get there in a second, but I think it's a mistake because he can run on his own 2 feet. And so, I think when you're hitching yourself to somebody who's got a liberal background. Now, let me say about Steve Hilton first.
Well, first of all, people should understand Steve Hilton was at the event and he introduced Michael Gates.
He introduced Michael Gates, exactly, and he endorsed him.
Endorsed him too.
So Steve Hilton is a guy from Fox News, has his own show. He's a political consultant that's been around for a long time, mostly in UK politics. I'll talk about him in detail in a second. But he, I just think that you put a lot at risk when you're already hitching yourself to a candidate to run with him. You're the candidate. You're the candidate for a specific independent office, and I don't think you need to hitch your wagon to him, to anybody. And worse, he then has this girl that Hilton chose as his running mate for lieutenant governor, Gloria Romero. I'll talk to her in a second. But Hilton has been called in the UK. He's got a history of being a liberal. So in the UK, he helped push what's called, when he was one of the top advisors to Prime Minister Cameron, his first name, but he was pushing for an agenda called progressive conservatism. And
that seems like an oxymoron to me.
That's a good one, and the real conservatives in the party were calling him were suspicious of him, calling him a liberal interloper. So David Cameron, that's his name. He was known for very liberal causes, green energy deals, gay marriage, all kinds of stuff. I mean, he was pushing. He was actively pushing for social justice reform, and so he's got this. I mean, there are pictures of him online. Actually, I think he's hugging Gavin Pelosi, who I call Gavin. I don't call him Gavin Newsom. Gavin Pelosi. No. So he's got a history that. I tell people this all the time. I prefer somebody. People tell me, well, this person has evolved. They become real hardcore conservative. I always tell them I prefer people who are conservatives in their bones, in their soul, especially people, the ones I'm suspicious of are the ones that they say evolve. I say, I mean, if they're going to evolve early in life. Don't evolve late in life.
It's late.
What the hell took you so fucking long?
I always feel like they're really late to the game.
Yeah, they're late to the game.
The conservative game. And I can understand when you're young and dumb, but as soon as you start earning money,
well, exactly.
You should know right then.
You should just know when you start to understand what the Constitution means. But he started also a thing called Crowd PAC, which primarily helped liberal Democrats raise money for office.
That was his
company.
Here or England?
I think he started here.
Okay.
I think he started here. But so for me, I wonder if someone like him, and I say this all the time about people who are grifters that come from the left to the right, did he just move into our lane out of convenience because he got a gig at Fox News? I mean, you have to ask that.
Yeah.
Now, again, I want to say, as a person, I like Steve Hilton a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
He's
not
very personal,
when I critique these people, I'm not being personal at all. There's a lot of things I can say about all these guys, but I won't. But when it comes, you know, about personal stuff, but I won't make those comments.
Yeah.
For me, it's about my only concern, like I said, my concern for love of country and setting a standard for fighting for it. And
Yeah.
he is a really nice person. He's a gentleman.
I remember when he was here in this restaurant.
He came to this restaurant.
2022.
Yeah.
He was very nice,
Yep.
especially to your mom, Rose.
To my mom.
And that, you know, that makes that shows a good quality in a person.
Yeah.
But I'm with you though. They need to be hardcore conservative.
Yeah, because people abandon their true beliefs to gain political power and like influence and money and everything else, and people do it at a convenience. So I just don't know if he's for real.
Yeah.
What does he really believe? You know. So, but again, yeah, he was very nice to my mom. I always judge people. I judge people by that all the time. If they were nice to my mother when they saw her and gave her respect. Yeah. He did that. He saw her. He said, "That's your mom." Yes. He got out of his chair from across the room, walked over, sat with her, talked to her, walked her outside with me when she was going home, took a picture with her.
Yeah.
And we'll show that too. But yeah, he's a sweetheart of a guy. And even after the event, after the forum, when I was asking hard-hitting questions to the guys on stage, and it became sort of like conflict that we'll talk about in a show. But he afterward, it was him and another guy, Daniel Mercury, who's off of running. Those are the only two guys with balls who came up to me afterwards and thanked me for the hard-hitting questions. They thanked me for it. And he obviously remembered who I was. I remember who you were. I remember the great food you had. I remembered your mom.
Yeah.
He's a sweetheart of a guy. I mean, if
nice.
we were to vote just based on personality, he would get my vote, but that's not enough.
Yeah, it's not now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is critical time. So.
And I had a question for him. I want to read it. So the question. So I started out by saying, I don't know if you remember this. Or not, but I started out by saying, when it came to me, so I was the fourth guy sitting on the panel. You walk in, there's Michael Gates, two women, and then me at the end. So I was the last guy to ask the question each round. And they gave me a stack of questions to ask that voters had I guess online submitted. And there was one I promised I would ask for Sonia. Yeah. And it was a good question. It's not something I would ask, but it was a good, detailed, thoughtful question. I thought. I said, good. I'll promise you I'll get this question in. But I was going to ask my own. Yeah. Because the questions I was looking at were basically, what will you do for California? I mean, what are you going to do to fight crime? What are you going to do to fight illegal? I mean, I was like, nope. I had the one. That was it. But the question that I started out with was, I don't know if you remember what I said. I said, I'm going to start out going easy on you guys. I'm going to start going easy on you guys to let you warm up a little bit. Yeah. So my first question, I said, is for Steve Hilton. And I want the others to jump in after he answers. That's exactly what I said. I've written down here word for word. I said to him, I was looking right at him, you're a gentlemanly candidate that projects that English etiquette and sensibility. But I think that is a recipe for losing in a fight to save our state. There is no time for Mr. Nice Guy. So I want to know first from you, and then from the rest of you, are you willing to take the Democratic candidate out to the woodshed when fighting to win? Meaning no holds barred, go for the jugular, no bending over backwards niceties. Instead, we want a gloves off, punch you in the face campaign to win. Yeah. Forget the Mitt Romney and John McCain style of weakness and losing. Yes. And then he had his answer, which was very, very clever, very charismatic. Yeah. He was funny say he's not really an Englishman. He's Hungarian, he kind of danced around it. But it was funny, and
he did make a big point that he's got U.S. citizenship and he renounced his UK citizenship.
No, he did a great job answering. I mean, it was funny, but nobody really ever answers the question that you ask.
No, the other guys didn't pick up on it either.
They never. So that's the guy that Michael Gates really likes and is running with, and I'm happy for him. Whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
But then we find out yesterday, I didn't know this, and it's funny because somebody had asked me about doing a political event here, and they asked me if somebody could bring their dog in a stroller in the restaurant for the event. She goes, "Oh, this person is somebody, a VIP." I said, "Look, that's kind of weird. I don't want dogs and strollers in the restaurant. Like I love dogs. I'm an animal guy, but we have a patio outside. We'll bring food out, water, meatballs, whatever. We're very nice to the animals. But when people are in the restaurant, they want to eat. They don't want to see a dog itching and scratching and maybe even worse, right? So I said no.
Good.
So then we're at the event, and I find out who she is. I find out that her name is Gloria Romero.
Yes.
Right? Is that the name?
I believe so.
So she was, turns out I found out that she was the Democratic leader in the House, right?
California State House.
California State House. And Steve Hilton introduces her as his running mate for Lieutenant Governor of California.
Yeah.
And the first thing I thought was, what the fuck is he thinking? And why does Michael Gates have her here? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like you couldn't find one solid, true blue, hardcore conservative to run that has a history of conservatism.
Yeah.
So of course they try to sell you on no. She again, I talk about swerving in the lane and our side slobbering.
Yeah.
She swerved in the lane. She's 70 years old.
Yeah.
And she decided to swerve out of their lane into our lane when she's over 68. No, yeah. So she waited 68 years to figure it out.
Talking about being very late to the game.
Very, very, very late to the game.
Yeah.
So she comes over, and so she gets up there and she speaks. I'm thinking, I can't believe what I'm watching right now. And
she made the comment that kind of got me thinking that she said something about that. Her first comment was about animals.
Yeah.
That she's, she goes after people who don't like animals.
Yeah.
And my thought was like, it seems like she likes animals more than people.
Yeah, that's the first thing you said when you walked over to me. You looked pissed when you were walking over to me. So she talked about her dog a lot.
Yeah.
Talked about how her dog was supportive of the campaign, and it was a lot about the dog.
Yeah.
Tubby, I think the dog's name was.
Yeah.
And then she spoke in Spanish, and I felt like her speech was longer in Spanish than it was in English, and that fucking pissed me off.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit. So,
I don't think there were any Spanish-speaking people. Like I'm assuming Spanish is the first language. People were not at the event.
it's pandering, man, and I hate pandering.
The only thing, the cameras were at the event, but
Well, what I didn't like too is after she did that, when Michael gave his speech, he mixed in Spanish too, and that's so not him.
no.
Like, don't do that. So I'm going to talk to him about that as well. But
I'm with you on that. I agree.
Look. Did she, when she was in the Democratic Party, did she fight her own party about school choice? Yes.
Yeah.
Did she supposedly resist the mandates? Yes, I appreciate all that. But still, there are people you can find that are legitimately hardcore conservative patriots. You don't need to go outside the party lines to find someone like her. Weak. She received 100% rating from the pro-choice groups, Pro-Choice California and Planned Parenthood. So what does that tell you? She's all about pro-choice. Okay. She supports abortion, 100%.
I'm pro-choice.
No, you're not.
I choose life.
You chose life.
That's it.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah. No, we demand life. We don't even choose it. We fucking demand it. And she, people are giving her credit because she is against aborting a live child. So wow, let's pat her on the back for that.
Yeah.
She describes herself as a true blue Democrat. She was the former state re-election chair for President Barack Obama, not once, twice, 2008 and 2012. She co-chaired his re-election campaign in 2012. She voted for and supported a Global Warming Solutions Act in California. And there's this periodical called the Capitol Weekly, and every year they publish a score for how liberal you are, 100 being perfect. Yeah. She scored I think she scored almost a 90, I think it was.
Yeah.
So that's who we have running as lieutenant governor, who somehow snuck in, weaseled her way in.
Well, if there's any good news out of the lieutenant governor in California is pretty much just a ceremonial position. There's no
I know,
power,
but still, so we don't need. But she was even a delegate for Jesse Jackson back in the day.
Oh my God.
Okay, so how bad does it fucking get? Anyway, so we'll get to my conflict and my head-to-head little battle that I had with Sheriff Chad Bianco.
Yeah.
But first, before we get to that, because it surrounds the topic of kneeling, surrendering, right?
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about the history of kneeling. To bend the knee, really, what it means to everybody is signifying that you're subjecting yourself to power, right? To authority. I mean, it's really like a gesture of a submissiveness, reverence, respect, right? That's what you're showing. That's what it is. I mean, kneeling is powerful, right?
Yeah.
And it's like you're begging somebody for something, for forgiveness or for acceptance. And there's also it's in the context of when you think about when people say things like bringing someone to their knees because they're facing overwhelming challenges and difficulties and intimidation. I mean, how do you feel about just the idea and the image of somebody kneeling?
The only time you should be kneeling is when you're in church.
Yeah, and when you kneel on two knees. You don't kneel on one knee.
Two knees.
When you kneel to
it's reverence to God is what it's all about.
Yeah, and when you kneel to a conqueror, usually you'll kneel down on you'll bend over and kneel on one knee, right? You'll bend down on one knee.
Yeah.
And you'll bend over too, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think taking a knee is right for any man to do. Maybe a woman can do.
Well,
that,
the knee that I'm talking about, the one knee, we get down on one knee. That became popular in modern times in 2016. If you remember when the athletes were bending the knee to what? Taking the knee to push against and disrespect the national anthem.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, think about that alone. That whole Colin Kaepernick thing. You remember him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the end of him.
Thank God for that.
So you think about the story of the king who knelt. There's a story about that. The king who knelt. Well, now we got the sheriff who knelt, right? So again, I want to make it clear too that of the 5 candidates that are up there, and anybody that's running for any office on that level, I don't support any of them, just to be clear.
Yeah.
I don't endorse any of those guys. And over the years, I've had many people ask me to support them and endorse them, and I haven't.
Yeah.
Even people that I knew as friends that would come in here and put their arm around me and go, "Hey, man, I'm running for Congress or running for governor." I'm like, "Nope, not doing it." And they would be shocked, and it's because I would explain to them, "I'm not going to tie myself to you, and then you stick a knife in my back."
Yeah.
I'll root for you because you're a friend, but I can't I can't tie my reputation to yours, and I can't align myself to you in that way. And they would say to me, "Well, who do you trust then?" I said, "I don't trust anybody." And he said, "So if somebody would run, who would it be that you would trust?" I said, "Well, me. That's who.
Yeah.
I would trust me because I know that I would. I've shown it here.
Yeah.
I remember during the lockdowns and all the pressure would come. People would literally say to me, which I found insulting, "Tony, don't give in, man. Never give in." I'm like, "Fuck are you talking about? Have you not learned anything yet by watching what we're doing here?"
Yeah.
That'll never fucking happen. Ever.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
So on June 1st, 2020, there were 5,000 protesters in Riverside versus 130 law enforcement officers and personnel.
Yeah.
At the intersection of Orange and 10th Streets, downtown Riverside.
And what were the protesters protesting at the time?
They were protesting in support to honor, it was BLM, and they were protesting in support, and they had been rioting already and burning shit, and they had to board up windows, and businesses had to shut down, but they were protesting, they're protesting everything America really stands for.
Yeah.
And they were also doing it in honor of George Floyd, a criminal, right?
Yeah.
So when Bianco shows up And I credit him for showing up, being on the front lines with his team, with his
Yeah.
guys. But when someone shouted to them, take a knee, he fucking took a knee.
Yeah.
You're responsible for the curfew, which has all of these people upset. That curfew which interrupts this function. Why is it that you did that and implemented it? Everybody, I just asked the sheriff, why is it that they set up a curfew at one o'clock that day? Why is it that the sheriff instituted a curfew on the day we're having a protest? I asked this man that. Here is his response.
Listen, you all know we've been planning this. You've been planning this for a week. Everyone knew it was coming. Everyone knew we were going to be here. It was going to be a peaceful protest downtown. We eventually.
Hey, I need y'all to hear me.
Hey, listen to this man. Don't bust it like this. Please, please. Take your badge off. Hey, let's get some space. Let's back up. Take your badge off and drop your gun.
Hey, everybody listen. Everybody listen who wants to be heard. But I need you to work with me so we can be heard. These people will resort to violence. That is what they're taught.
People are fucking animals.
Hey, let me talk. I got it. They're here to make sure that we stay orderly. Okay? So how about I make sure we stay orderly so that we can make sure we're heard. Okay? If you guys work with me, we'll be heard. I promise you that. I promise you, if you work with me, we will be heard. Are y'all ready to hear what this man has to say? Are y'all ready for him to answer some of the questions we have? Are we ready? Okay, let's go. Stay back, please. Please take a knee. Everybody take a knee. Can we get y'all to take a knee? Can we get y'all to take a knee?
This is where the problem lies. This person right here. You're standing there, your arms up.
We're glad to take a knee and come with us.
When y'all do that, I figure the crowd will feel like y'all fucking with us. Something like that. But y'all. Back up.
I need us to step back, please. I need us to back up a little bit. I need us to back up. I'm claustrophobic. I'm not going to nobody. Back up. I need you to back up, please. I'm trying to make sure we're heard, but I need you to back up. Back up. Give us space to be heard. Please, back up. Be orderly. Do you not want to do that? That was me. You just need them off of the chair. Yes, sir.
Drop your weapons. I'm here with no weapons. We're not doing no weapons. We're not doing all that. I'm not here with no weapons. Drop your weapons. Not doing all that.
Back up a little bit. We will be heard. We will be heard. Just back up.
To the sheriff, he's right here.
Everybody
Don't push up.
Back up. Step back. Everybody be cool. You're all claustrophobic. Back up.
Hey, if we get separated, we just make the car.
Listen.
Hold on. I want to hear this.
Listen, right now we are talking downtown Riverside. We are talking all of you. We're talking me. We're talking all of us. This gentleman I was just talking with, until we together, not just me, not just you, until we do something to fix this, we're always going to have this. Now this protest downtown, this rally, let's call it a rally. We don't want it to be a protest. We want it to be a rally. a curfew in this tonight is because what we found and what we were being told by our surrounding areas is that the majority of the people that were going to cause here to cause conflict and problem aren't even from Riverside. They aren't even from Riverside. So that's why we have to have this. We want you all to be here. We want you all to have this. We want your voices to be heard. We want to be heard together. Let me get this 100% clear to all of you. I hope that there is not one person in this crowd that believes that me or any of these people behind me that work for me agree or condone what happened on that video. Listen to this. That's straight up bullshit.
I got that shit. It's too many
want to make a difference. We won't make a difference. We can't make a difference individually. We got to make a difference together. We are here for your peaceful protest and we encourage you.
Okay. So, hold on, no.
Somebody over there was okay with that shit. It wasn't no big deal. I gonna say everybody. Somebody over there, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, so listen, we just heard this man condemn the very actions that he had to implement, correct? That's what we heard, right? We heard him give reasons. He gave reasons for implementing those curfews. The reasons were that the surrounding cities were rowdy, right? The surrounding cities were upset. Okay, hold on. Hey, please. Hey. When I'm on the mic, let me work. I promise I'll keep somewhere. I promise I'll keep somewhere. Okay, exactly. So look. I offer a challenge to you, sir. Hold on. Hey. Listen, I offer a challenge right now. Will you let us protest till 6:30? That's 30 minutes past the curfew, if we remain peaceful. Right now, we will remain peaceful. You see us here. Hold on. Be quiet. Okay, be quiet. Let me work. So, hey, listen, you guys have to be ready to take steps. You got to be ready to take steps.
I need y'all okay. Fuck that.
Hey, listen to me.
I ain't got nothing.
Listen to me. Hey, hold on. Listen to me right now. Be quiet, please.
Nah, fuck that. Shit. I ain't gotta ask if I can stay out. Hey, back up. Keep it straight line. Keep it Get loud!
Everybody quiet.
So listen, what we're going to do take a knee.
Wow, so you saw law enforcement coming together with the protesters there in discussion.
All right,
there you go. You see him take that knee.
Sheriff
as they
Chad
talked
Bianco
about
there, take a moment of solidarity.
Yeah, as they talked about how they were going to handle this moment, the protesters in direct conversation there with the sheriff. Just soak this moment in for a second. Riverside County, look at all the law enforcement officers there that have taken a knee as organizers are getting everybody there to take a knee.
Something. Here's where the problem's happening.
So look at them there in discussion.
I can't. All right.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Give them space to take the knee.
Hey, back up.
Give them space to take the knee.
Listen to somebody commanding the crowd, saying, "Give them space to take the knee." Look at the officer. They're even recording this moment.
You know, the unfortunate part of this is everybody. This is a huge divide. There's no working here, voices be heard. It's just a big, huge divide. And the leaders of this have to work with us to make a difference. And if this is what starts it, then this is what starts it.
We're working with them right now by taking a knee.
100%. 100%.
He took a knee and he ordered his deputies to also take a knee, and they did. And later, when asked if he was working with them right now by taking the knee, he said, 100%, 100%.
Yeah.
Working with them in solidarity. And if you look at the headlines that say things like, the news headlines that say things like, he took a knee to honor George Floyd, he took an honor in solidarity with BLM. Who do you think pushed that narrative? The organizers of BLM.
Of course.
So he got stuck with that. But it's truth. If you look at the what he said was, he said, quote unquote, watch this. If you look at the signs and yet somehow it's supposed to demand respect, if you look at the signs and yet somehow it's supposed to demand respect, respect gets respect from us to the community and from the community to us. If it has to start right here in the middle of the intersection, then it does. Then he shouts in a megaphone to the protesters. Listen to this, BLM. We want you all here. We want your voices to be heard. We are there for you. Peaceful protest, and he said, we are here for you and your peaceful protest, and we encourage it. No, we fucking don't.
No,
we don't want them there.
The whole George Floyd thing was a big lie to begin with. So why would we want them there protesting that?
Yeah, he's encouraging it. We encourage it, and we want
that?
you here. The fuck are you talking about?
No. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't you ask the people who had their fucking businesses burned to the ground,
Exactly.
and people who have been killed by these fucking thugs? People have been fucking robbed and beaten and everything else.
Yeah.
Ask them if they want them there.
No.
Ask them if they want them to be fucking heard.
Yeah.
Shut up, man.
Yeah.
Pandering again. So afterwards, he and the BLM leader hugged it out. They shook hands. They fucking hugged it out. He's called him a friend. He said, we became friends afterwards. And the crazy part about it, a few hours after that ended, the looting started. They started breaking into businesses, damaging businesses. They had riots near University Avenue and Market Street. They had to even declare later an unlawful assembly.
Yeah.
So bottles were thrown, fireworks went off in the crowd. They used pepper spray, rubber bullets. The cops. Go ahead.
I was going to say, so if you think about it, at the time, maybe Bianco was trying to use his best judgment to diffuse things. Well, it didn't work, and it never was going to work.
Yeah.
So why did he even think it was going to work?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that goes to character, and that goes to judgment, and that goes to leadership.
Yeah, and they're saying, and they left behind damage, graffiti. I mean, it was just a disaster afterwards. Yeah. So the problem that we had with Bianco, that I had with Bianco, is I've known this for a while.
Yeah.
Is then he fucking started digging himself a big hole. He didn't just admit that, look, I got desperate, I was afraid, I got scared, so I knelt. They asked me to take a knee, so I did. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. What a dumb thing I did. It's ruined my reputation. I wish I could take it back. Worst moment of my life. I will never do it again. I learned a lesson. No, he's digging a hole. He's like, I never know. It's everyone can see it. It's on camera. You fucking you kneeled so fast when they ordered it.
And it's funny. They stabbed him so hard in the back, and the end result of the whole thing.
You fucking kneel, and then you're trying to say that you fucking pray. You didn't kneel to you didn't kneel to them. You knelt to God. You were saying a prayer. Wait a second. First of all, show me a picture of Chad Bianco ever taking a knee anywhere ever in his life in the middle of the street praying to friggin' God ever.
Yeah.
And second of all, right? Yeah. The only time he should kneel is when he's kneeling when a procession of a fallen officer is going by. If they even do that, I don't know.
Yeah.
But maybe then take a knee, right? And when people pray, like impromptu, like just start praying, what do they usually do, Doug? It happens to us a lot. Yeah. People surround us, standing up. Nobody's ever asked us to take a knee.
Yeah.
Ever. It's happened to us thousands of times. No one's ever asked us to take a knee. We stand up. They stand up. They
maybe
get in a circle. Maybe hold hands. You know, you and I, if we hold hands, we usually like shake it off. Like, nah, we don't want to do that. But hold.
I'm not a big hand holder.
I'm like, fuck that. Yeah, we're not holding. You and I aren't holding hands, but we'll shake hands. We're not holding hands.
Yeah.
But you know, and and they pray over us.
Yeah.
They all give them strength, continue to give them strength, protection, all this stuff. So.
Yeah. And a good Catholic priest gives you a nice blessing that feels so warm and wonderful.
Exactly.
So.
And when you pray to God, you get on 2 fucking knees.
Of course.
You don't get on 1 fucking knee. You get on 2 fucking knees.
Yeah.
So saying you were praying is bullshit, and everybody knows it. And if you don't come clean, you're going to lose the election you won't even make it to the general election.
Yeah.
You won't even get there.
I agree.
Because people aren't fucking stupid, especially conservative patriots. They're not stupid. They know when you're fucking, and they know when you're lying to them.
Yeah.
They know courage when they fucking see it.
And
they know a man of principle when they fucking see it.
Yeah.
Right? They know a man who stands in defense of their beliefs and doesn't waver. To me, it is unforgivable. So
it's maintaining the standard for fighting.
Yeah. And the other officers who fucking knelt, they should be ashamed of themselves.
Yeah.
And they should be pissed at him for even talking them into it.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Then to make it even worse, a few years after that, I think he just got reelected, right?
I think
in
so.
2023. So he gets reelected. He gets sworn in 2023 on the Riverside Historic Courthouse steps, right? Wednesday, January 4th, 2023. Yeah. And he then says, he describes, this is probably his way of trying to cover his ass. He describes 2020 social justice protests as destructive riots. These are his words. Destructive riots, and said criminal justice reform efforts allowed for the murder of Deputy Isaiah Cordero, who was shot and killed during a December 29th traffic stop. So you know this, and you fucking kneel with these people. Even if they ask you to pray, you say, fuck you, I'm praying with you.
Yeah.
I'm praying to end you.
Yeah. Yeah. They're criminals.
Yeah. So why would you say that? And then, so it doesn't make any sense. So there was a Florida sheriff. This is the way you handle it. When your sheriff shows weakness. A Florida sheriff who took the knee with BLM protests had his re-election endorsement by Florida Police Union pulled in July 2020. Members of the Fraternal Order of Police who voted unanimously to rescind the endorsement of Orange County, Florida, Sheriff John Mina in his re-election bid. And the members of this group complained about low morale, saying they believe that he would not back them if they were involved in a use of force case, if it was public. But then I thought to myself, they're still looking out for themselves. Oh, if it was used, and they're afraid he's not going to back. What about just saying he's weak?
Yeah.
He's weak, he sucks, he caved, we can't depend on him, terrible leader, we want him fucking out.
He's not a guy I'm going to follow in a battle.
And we can't follow. Then there's an Ohio sheriff, listen to this. Butler County, Ohio. I don't know what big city that's close to, but Sheriff Richard, I forget his last name. Anyway, he said, you can just look up his name, but he said, if you shoot at the police, expect us to shoot back.
Yeah.
And then he said, I will not allow my deputies or any law enforcement officer in Butler County to take the abuse I've seen over the past several months. He said, I will never, ever kneel. He said, not kneeling even for the national anthem is basically disgusting. And when you take a knee, it's almost like you're even just disrespecting the anthem itself.
Yeah.
And
And your own self.
Yeah.
So that's the standard of fighting.
Yeah. So I want to read the question that I asked him at the debate so people understand. So what I said was, voters, I'm going to read it word for word because I want people to know what I asked.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying I was out to get him. I was not. I explained already why I asked. I said, voters want a candidate that stands their ground when defending their values and beliefs. A lot of tough talk here, but actions are what matter. So I said, Sheriff Bianco, in June 2020, you were in a face-off with the anti-American, anti-police enemy, BLM, and you took a knee. So suddenly when I said that, all of Bianco's supporters in the audience, what did they do? They started shouting and jeering.
There were quite a few, too.
We had cheering, too, but we had people who also like trying to shout me down.
I think there were more Bianco supporters than any of the other candidates.
Yeah. So then I said exactly this. I said, look, hate me all you want. It just fuels me. Keep it coming. I said to the audience. And the guys on the stage, I could tell, kind of like looked at each other like,
they
this
don't
guy's
know what's
crazy.
going on.
A few hours later, the looting started. So I said, a few hours later, the looting started. So why should the voters trust you to hold the line next time? And what would the rest of you do differently when facing the same enemy? So he, of course, lost his mind.
You
can see the video
on our
Instagram, our Facebook, and on our X. His response was embarrassing.
Yeah,
it was embarrassing.
So voters want a candidate that stand their ground when defending their values and their beliefs. Again, a lot of tough talk, but actions are what matter. So, Sheriff Bianco, in June 2020, you were in a face-off with the anti-American, anti-police enemy BLM, and you took a knee. Look, hey, hate me all you want. It just fuels me. Just keep it coming. A few hours later, the looting started. Okay, so why should the voters trust you to hold the line next time? And what would the rest of you do differently when facing the same enemy?
It's interesting that you're coming here with your attitude, but your entire question is two lines. There were 10,000 people in downtown Riverside. There were 1,200 cops. 950 were my deputies. 300 were other law enforcement officers outside of that. No, I never took a knee to be on. So here's the thing. So for all of you Republicans out there, for all of you with a brain and who can critical think, right now, I am arguably the most respected law enforcement leader in the country. Right now, I am the most respected law enforcement leader in this state. Right now, I am the most respected law enforcement leader in my county, hands down. That never could be possible with what you just said happened, me kneeling to BLM. Absolutely not. Here's the answer. My God is far bigger than BLM. My God is far bigger than this room, your silly question, or the lie that the looting started after. My job that night, after we prayed for the safety of my deputies,
Don't insult me. I didn't ask you a question.
We're going to add time for him interrupting me. Here's the thing. After I told them personally that we were shutting them down because it was turning riotous, we gave them 20 minutes to leave. They asked if they could pray for my deputies. I said absolutely, and they did. 30 minutes later, we physically, with the most force ever used against a domestic terrorist organization without killing anyone, we removed them from Riverside with zero looting, with zero damage, and with zero injuries to my deputies. And to this day, those organizations put out across their social media, do not go to Riverside County because we can't help you with Sheriff Chad Bianco. It is a lie perpetrated by some candidates that never happened.
Yeah, he came apart. And after I asked that, the next time I came around, I reminded them. I said, look, guys, like I said, there's nothing personal behind my questions. My only concern is love of country and setting a standard for fighting for it. If you think my questions are tough, I said, just wait until you face the Democrat candidate in the general election.
Yeah.
That's all I said.
Yeah.
So...
there was a big reaction. His supporters were booing and hissing at you, which I know fuels you. It's energy for you.
Yeah, because when I see people who are showing weakness by acting that way, they're a bunch of drones, and they're not. Yeah. They should be appreciative that I'm vetting the candidate for them. Yeah. That I am holding his feet to the fire so they know what they're getting.
I have
to say, they should thank me.
I was sitting next to a good friend of ours, Harvey, and I were in the audience, and there was a guy right behind us, Bianco supporter, and he was doing the whole, boo, blah, what kind of question, blah, blah, that's not true, those kinds of things. And Harvey had on his phone, he had the video. Yeah. And he showed the guy.
Of him kneeling, yeah. And the guy still,
he showed the guy the video, and he goes, what am I supposed to believe, that or what what I'm seeing here?
Yeah,
and the guy didn't have a good answer for it.
Of course not. Well, it was funny because even before that question, the first question I asked Hilton, as I started asking, the Hilton supporter was behind me, 3 rows back. I couldn't see who it was. But he shouted, You're out to get people, like, hurry up with the question. And I looked back, I don't know if you saw me, I looked back at him, and I was about ready to stand up and jump back there and just fucking beat him down. But the problem was I promised Sonia again that I was going to behave. Yeah. So, but when Bianco answered, part of his answer to me was, he said, you come in here with your attitude, which I don't know where that came from. Come here with your attitude, and you ask a silly question. That's when I lost it. I'm like, you could hear me say it. I was kind of shouted down, but I was saying things like, man, you're insulting me now. It's a problem. Yeah. And then I started kind of engaging him. And then you could see Sonia, who ran the event. She comes running over. And she's like, Tony, please don't be fucking Tony again. Like, just stay calm.
How could he not be?
He's showing himself. Just allow him to. And that was the end of it. But
he also qualified himself a lot too. In his answer, he paused and he was like, "Oh, I'm the number one this. I'm the number
oh
one
my
this,
God!
Number one this."
Yeah. He was breaking his arm.
He qualified himself.
Patting himself on the back.
And tell that to people. You're not that. 100%.
And you've been drinking all night, and you realize that. It was clear to you. And then he talks about how he was tricked into kneeling. So if you were tricked that easily, we're supposed to believe in you to be a leader of the state? Are you tricked that fucking easily by a bunch of thugs, bunch of like brainless thugs? And then he said he did it to de-escalate. He prayed to de-escalate. I got a better idea. Why don't you raise the black fucking flag? So the pirates in the old days and in war, they would not only pirates, but in war in general, you raise the black flag, and the black flag signifies that you're taking no prisoners. Yeah. Okay, you're taking no prisoners. You're going to fight the war to the end, and you're going to defy all the way through. Okay, and there's also a black and red flag. If you want to raise that one, black and red flag says you're going to wipe out everybody.
Yeah, there's no. Everyone dies.
Did you hear about this?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to wipe out everybody. So the only de-escalation is you make them realize you're not fucking around.
Yeah.
That's how you fucking win. Don't play their fucking game. What?
Riverside, if you think about it, in California, you have a lot of conservative counties, but they're all in the outskirts. They're all east. They're all north. They're not the beach cities. Riverside is fairly close to the beach. Very conservative. Maybe that's the county that should have And if Bianco was a true leader, maybe that's where the fight should have been. And maybe he should have called the SWAT team in. Maybe he should have called in, bring every police officer in that county come in ready for riot, and just end it and end it right
you
there.
You de-escalate with a show of strength.
Exactly.
That's how you project strength. And patriots and conservatives especially, but people in general, they follow courage.
Yeah.
And he showed nothing but cowardice.
Yeah.
And that's the facts.
Yeah.
And he has himself a big problem now.
I think so.
And next time do as the Romans do. So what the Romans did was, I'll give you an example. When they went into battle against the Gallic armies, right? That's just one battle. That's just one war. When they would win the war, right? To the victor goes the spoils, right? When they would win the war, they would force them to surrender by getting on their knee, right? Surrender to us. Get on your fucking knee. Yeah. They would rip their hearts out and their dignity by forcing them. They basically forced them to remove their fucking clothes, so they wouldn't even have clothes. They were reduced to like nothing, right? Yeah. And then they would make them kiss their golden eagle, which was a symbol of the Roman Empire, right? It represented strength and honor and their soul of the empire. So what you should have fucking done, you should have done the exact same thing. Get them on their fucking knees. They can keep their clothes, it's fine. But kiss our fucking badges.
Yeah.
Kiss our fucking badges, and maybe we'll let you free. Yeah. Maybe we'll let you go.
Yeah.
Do it the Roman way. That's how the Romans did it. Fight like a Roman.
Yeah.
And it's just pathetic. People, you talk about the fighting standard all the time. I've been preaching about forever, and you bring it up, and you try to remind people of that. But that's what I'm trying to do with this thing that we're doing here, and the thing I've been doing here ever since March 2020 when the lockdown started. And you have to be willing to go hard.
Yeah.
Or we're all gonna fucking lose. That's just how it's gonna go.
And if we went hard in 2020, maybe we wouldn't be in the situation we're in right now.
So it's funny how Bianco wanted to engage with me and try to insult me after the question I asked him.
Yeah.
He got defensive, obviously, right? And that was the whole purpose of the question, to see how he's going to handle it.
Yeah.
And he became unglued. And you even said too, he was sitting up there trying to be intimidating to everybody by wearing his big belt buckle and his cowboy boots.
Kind of Western
you said
look.
he had a gun on his hip.
Yeah.
He had his bodyguards, his deputies all around him, right?
Yeah.
But I thought to myself, it's funny how you get so upset about a question that I ask, but at the same time, you have no problem kneeling to the cop-hating, anti-American thugs that want to take this country over and turn into garbage, and you slobber all over them, you wrap your arms around them, but you're upset with me.
Yeah.
Listen, if I had a video of him getting angry with BLM, as angry as he got with me asking the question I asked, I'd probably support him.
Yeah.
I would have been like, that's my fucking guy. Look how pissed he is. If he was that guy in Butler County, Ohio, if that guy was running in Riverside County here, that'd be my. But people keep asking me, who are you going to support? Who are you going to support? Who are you behind? Nobody.
Yeah.
I wish there was, but there isn't.
Yeah.
Because there's nobody that I've seen that understands the standard.
Yeah. The one thing that bothers me about all these politicians, especially the ones that supported BLM, how come you and I knew from day one, the moment that group kind of came out of the woodwork, that they're all grifters? We knew they were, and they proved themselves, and they still are proving themselves now. How come we knew that? Why don't these other people know that? All these politicians that, supporting them up until maybe recently.
Look, let's be honest. Most people who want to run for office are looking for power.
Yeah, they don't really care.
They're looking for influence. Most people who run for office were the dorks in high school. It's like people have said politics is an entertainment business for ugly people.
I agree with that
Right?
completely.
And dorky people. That's basically what it is. I mean, especially now.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
You know, I and these zombie supporters of Bianco coming after me. It's like, you're coming again. You should be fucking thanking me.
Yeah.
But you're coming after me, and I think to myself, imagine if George Washington took a knee to the British.
Oh, I know. We wouldn't be here right now.
Wouldn't be. So you people who claim that you're fighting for your freedom every day, you're fighting tyranny in the state all the time, you're okay to do those things, all while supporting and trying to get elected a guy that took a knee to the enemy that you're fighting. You say you're fighting. Think about how fucking stupid you are.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real fight, too. We keep saying this, and we've mentioned it before in the podcast. The Democrats and the progressives, whatever they are, they're fighting a real war.
Yeah.
And we need to be fighting a real war harder than them.
They have zero excuse for what he did. And if you're going to support someone like that, you might as well surrender now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're one step on the way to surrender anyway.
Yeah,
what's the difference?
Exactly. I'm going to talk about next time, the next show. I want to talk about the next thing I was going to grill him on, which is the topic of the lockdowns, because he's not who he says he is.
Yeah.
We'll get to that next time. And I had that question teed up for him, but I didn't get a chance to ask it because we ran out of time. But I want people to know that it's not personal. I'm sure he's a good man. I'm sure he's a good family man. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I think he did it, except for the BLM side, I think he did a pretty good job in Riverside as the sheriff. I mean, a lot of people respect him for that. I think the crime rate is pretty good there. But like I said, we're fighting an enemy that takes no prisoners.
Exactly.
And we need to do this.
Well, I'm going to get to that next as we close out. But so there is a so we want to do these special editions of Roman Rules. If anyone is brave enough to come on with us, called the Roman Inquisition. And the Roman Inquisition was an idea Kim came up with.
Yes.
Because I always told him I wanted to put people through the gauntlet. I wanted to bring them here and have them sign pledges and face the fire. And Kim said, the Roman Inquisition. I said, that's
perfect. That's exactly what it is.
And you like it too.
Yeah.
So what we want to do is we want to bring only so-called conservative patriots on the show with us.
Yeah.
Right? Who are candidates that are running for almost anything, right? It could be anything. I don't care. We're not going to ever give the platform to anti-American woke fucking liberals and leftists and fucking Democrats. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
We're not going to allow them to be on our show. We're not going to give them a spotlight ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's plenty of other dumb shows they can be on.
Yeah. So when these candidates come on, when these so-called conservative candidates, patriot candidates come on, we want to give them sort of like the iron sharpens iron treatment. We want to make them better. We want to make them stronger when they walk out of here. We want them to feel like, now I know what I have to do to fucking win.
Yeah.
Okay. And we basically want to put them through like I said, like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
To make them rethink their beliefs, their platforms, their campaign strategy, all of it.
Yeah.
They want them to rethink it, reevaluate before they leave here.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to talk about their positions. I want to talk about their messaging. I want to talk about their alliances. They need to be thinking, like I was talking about Michael Gates and Steve Hilton. I want them thinking about all that stuff. We want to basically squeeze the truth out of them and find out what they're made of, what's in their soul when it comes to fighting for this country. We want to find out what their bones are made of.
Yeah.
Right. If they have a spine of steel or not.
Yeah.
So what I did was, the first guest I wanted to have on here is Chad Bianco.
I think it's very appropriate.
And I say that because this thing has kind of become like a thing online, and there's a lot of controversy about it. So before I've been asked to do additional debates and town halls and forums, and it's like, I don't want to do them. Like that's not my style. Like it's really not.
Well,
I don't want to be in a controlled environment where other people are telling me how I can behave or not behave. I will always be respectful. I will always be respectful to everybody.
Always, and you always are.
That's not my style. Yeah.
Well, one thing I want to mention to you, I heard rumblings just at the event there on Saturday. There were people that were kind of saying, you know, I appreciate the other moderators, but people were saying that maybe you should be the one moderator,
just me by myself,
Tony Roman, asking your questions,
all the questions,
not their questions.
Well, because
there are people that picked up on that.
I appreciate that. Well, I don't think people want to hear wonky political policy questions that go over their head.
Yeah.
Because right now, what's at stake is are the foundational things.
Yeah.
Things that matter most. Tyranny versus liberty and freedom. Yeah. That's what matters, and that's what people want to know. Everything else, you can figure. The rest of the stuff is going to be easy after that.
Yeah.
So we need to determine who the people are that are willing to be hardcore enough and almost fight to the death to defend those things.
Yeah.
So I can either question. So I don't want to do debate. I don't want to be there anymore. It's not my style. To me, it's dorky. I'm not a dork, man. I'm not a fucking geek. I ask questions and it has to be quiet after I answer them because I agreed to it.
Yeah.
I want to engage.
Yeah.
That's who I am. So I would rather instead of do that, they have the choice. I can do it there and embarrass them in front of everybody that are all the audience, right? I can embarrass them and it can turn into a situation where they feel like they have to go on and defend themselves and look stupid doing it, or they can come here. They can have dinner, drinks, cocktails, and we can have a discussion. It'll still be hardcore. It'll be even more hardcore because it's our show and because
but it'll be
no one's going to tell me that I can't ask this or can't ask that. I can ask whatever I want.
It'll be respectful. You're not going to,
Yeah, I mean, I understand when people have their rules. It's their rules for their own shows, their own platforms. I'm not going to disrespect them unless they're the enemy. I don't give a fuck.
We're not
going to
we're not going to disappear anybody.
Yeah, so. yeah. But if they're my exactly. But if they're my friends, I'm gonna go along with it.
Yeah.
To make their event a nice event. But so I put the word out today through a person that knows him really well, and he said what he said to me was, you can reach out to their campaign manager. No. I want to go through somebody I trust.
Yeah.
So I asked this person, and he says he's going to ask and find out. Now, if he comes, I know he's going to show up with an entourage, but that's okay.
That's fine.
That's okay. So we'll see what happens. We'll have him on. We'll have Michael Gates on. We'll have maybe Steve Hilton on.
Yeah.
And anyone that watches the show, watches this edition of the show. Specifically, if they know somebody who wants to come onto the show and sit with us and let us put them through the ringer.
Yeah. Now's the time,
Look, you're gonna.
It's January. The election's in November, so you got 6 months.
Yeah.
And if you want to kind of fine tune your arguments for the campaign trail and demonstrate that you're really a patriot.
Yep. And we're gonna.
This is the place to do it.
Exactly, and we're gonna out the people who refuse. we're gonna out the people who, if we ask them and they say no, we're not gonna just out people they don't show up. But if they don't hear about us and they don't appear, but if we ask somebody and we get a response that says no, then we know why.
And people need to understand too, your questions and the information you have. These aren't made up things. This isn't being Tony being biased.
No.
These are hard facts.
Yeah, I don't have I don't like I say. I don't have a dog in this hunt.
Yeah.
Right. I don't.
Well, you want to find somebody who has the standard of fighting to win.
That's right.
Right. Because if these people are going through this exercise to run for these positions in the next 6 months and spend the time and the money to lose, why bother?
Yes.
Why not fight to win?
I want a glorious victory where we stomp the enemy into the ground.
Exactly.
Where we invade their territory carrying big Roman fucking style banners.
Yeah.
With the golden eagle on top.
They're not expecting
and make them kiss the American flag.
the other side is not expecting anyone to put up a fight because honestly, we haven't. The candidates we've had in the past several elections in California have not been fighting, you know, and a way to win. So now's the time.
Yeah.
Now's the time. So
now's the time. Anyway, so
who else we talking? Anybody else today, or we're going to save it for the next?
We'll save it for the next. Yeah, I want to go. Yeah, there's a lot. To
There's
talk
so
about.
much.
There's so much. Yeah,
we did. Well, I have to say, you were a big hit at Sonia's event on Saturday. You got
it was fun.
I think you got a standing ovation more than anybody else when you walked in there.
We met some good people.
We did meet a
the
lot
funniest.
of nice people.
I just want to tell a funny story real quick. So we met these young guys.
Yeah.
Really young. One was 22, one was 19, and they came up to us afterwards, and they understand the standard.
Hey.
The younger guy
gives you hope for the future.
Yeah, young guy named Ian. He's still learning. The 22-year-old guy named Bruce.
Is cool.
He's figuring it out quickly. And I like these young guys because they are willing to follow the standard and understand what it is and what's at stake. They're both Catholic too.
Yeah.
And
that's
so
that by the way, that's Jesus' church.
That's right, Jesus' church. Yeah. So they came to the restaurant after the event. They talked to a bunch of the guys that were here. They're like old souls. I mean, they're 19, 22-year-olds.
Yeah.
Act like they're 40. 40 or 50.
40s,
yeah.
And they understand the issues.
I mean, even the way they dress.
Yeah.
I mean, amazing. So they, so I invited them to the event we were going to have with Michael Gates, one we had yesterday. And the funniest thing, man. So I see online the picture of Michael Gates making the announcement. You know, they always have politicians always have people, the supporters,
right behind them,
VIP supporters right behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And front and center of those two guys. They somehow
they snuck
moved their way to the front.
Good
got
for
their
them.
pictures.
That's awesome.
Taken.
That's awesome.
And you see them clearly, and it's freaking hilarious. One of them's wearing a nice suit, and Ian's wearing like this like spy-looking trench coat. I mean, they look like.
I told him, well, number one, it was really hot out that day
it
here
was
in
really
California.
hot. Yeah, it was very
Number
hot.
two, I
Sun
told
was
him,
beating
I go, you can't be wearing a trench coat in the summer.
Yeah.
Because it looks like
you look suspicious.
It looks like you got a rifle.
Exactly. Yeah. First thing I thought too, like I don't know if that's the right outfit to wear.
He's 19,
but he looked cool. He looked really cool.
He was
though.
very, very.
It was old school. They're
totally
both
old school, nicely dressed tie. For a 19-year-old, I had to give him a lot of credit.
Yeah, and Bruce also. Bruce handed me a gift, and I checked it out on the way home, and it was a nice cigar.
That's awesome.
So that was cool.
Very, very respectful.
Anyway, so good to see you.
Yeah, always good to be here.
Thomas, we're gonna have to get you an Uber home, I think. Can't let you drive home like that. Sure. All right. We'll talk about it.
Yeah. We don't want anything to happen to you.
For the rest of
you're too valuable to this team.
For the rest of you, you're Americans. Don't forget and fight like it. And to my son Maximus, see you soon. All right, Doug. You can lock up.
Mm-hmm.
Good seeing you. Thanks again.
All right, get home to those
See you next time.
people. Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.